Hello everyone, I'm Socks Way Up. Welcome back to Socktown. Let's start this episode off with going over what's changed. Things look a little different, but before we go over that, I wanted to kind of show you the finished product of the amusement park. There's still some detailing to do, but I like the way it turned out. We got all the assets thrown down. We got the roller coaster, the Ferris wheel, all of the fun stuff for the kids. I did end up unlocking all the assets so I could just finish things instead of letting them naturally grow. I feel kind of dirty about it, but we did it. Here's some of the detailing that we did on the auto park. I love the way it turned out with the bushes and the rocks all mixed in there in the background. We still got some stuff to do in between the air park and the freeway. But as you can see, as we swing around, there's a new addition to the city. I found this asset on the asset store and I couldn't resist. We built out IKEA. We built out the huge parking lot that they always have at IKEA's. And I'm gonna adjust some of these things on the outskirts. The other commercial area needs a little bit of help. Here you can see our university is turning into a small little town. Happy about that. That's turning out pretty good. We also unlocked all those assets, and this is our engineering school at the university. Pretty cool. Today's episode, we're going to work on this area, and you can see there's kind of a sock-shaped lake there. At least it kind of looks like a sock. But one of the things I want to go over is some of the changes. You can see these roads are a lot darker than they used to be. I found a new mod that lets you adjust the color of the roads, and I'm going to show you a little bit of tips on how you use it. That's not the right menu. We go into options. We find the mod in here. It's called Road Colors Changer Plus Plus. There we go. All right, so in here, I have the option set to use same color on all roads. And then below that, it says hold shift. You can drag all three sliders. So we're gonna give you a little idea of what you can do with this. If we drag it all the way to the right, really brightens up or lightens up those roads. Not very realistic. Don't think people would really wanna do that. Then alternatively, you can drag it all the way to the left and they go super dark, a little too dark for my taste. So I think what we ended up with was around 72 is where I left it. So we zoom in, it gives it a nice dark, fresh road feel, but then also the worn out sections of these parking lot roads still show up really nice. I like it. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the new lighting setup that we have. It's a little bit brighter in town. Again, you can see some detail of the road still is what we're zooming in on here. And what is this car doing? Why are you parked here? You could park right over there. What are you doing? Seriously, come on, man. All right, so Socktown Zoo, we're gonna jump right into it. So we're gonna build a zoo today. That's our plan. And I broke my promise. We're gonna do a time lapse. Here it goes. So we built this lake out here so that we could utilize the sea life enclosure, and that's what we're gonna drop down first just to get the zoo started. It's gonna be kind of the back, deepest part of the zoo, but I'm starting with that first so I can then build the rest of the assets up towards it and create paths that kind of lead you out along the way. All right, so now that we got that laid down, we're gonna start our entrance to the zoo. I'm gonna build a little bit of a roundabout. Originally, I wanted to create like this large fountain plaza area. Just realized I didn't have the right assets installed for that, so we do play around with trying to figure that out a little bit. And then we turn it into a lake, and you'll see how we do that here. Here we start building out the paths to get us to the sea life enclosure. We just started using the freeform tool to build some more natural winding paths that can give a nice design to the zoo, so it's not just, you know, straight lines and sharp turns. This next part, I wanted to start playing with the souvenir shops. I decided to just put it down exactly where I wanted. Most zoos that I've been at, it's, you know, you're coming towards the exit. They want you to hit up that souvenir shop before you leave. So we gave it its little dedicated area there. And on the other side, we wanted to add the restrooms for people to use when they come in and out of the park. This next section here is something that I need your guys' help on. I think a lot of us that play City Skylines, we build things based on our own experiences in life and places we've been and what we're familiar with. I live in the desert, there's a lot of dirt, so when I go to zoos out here, there's just a ton of gravel, a ton of desert plants. I didn't really want it to be that way, but it looks better to me naturally. So leave a comment below what you think the ground should look like here. You see here in a second, I start playing around with adding the gravel. It blends nice with the zoo assets, so I like it. I didn't want to go all out with it. I wanted to kind of just give a sample there. Again, if you comment below, I would love your feedback. Make some adjustments based on that, what people think looks good, and go from there. Alright, this next area is what we're going to call like the bird world, or the bird section of the zoo. I went ahead and laid down a few of these, even though you can't change the assets so that they are different types of birds. I went ahead and put multiple of them down so we could pretend ourselves that, you know, we have like 4 different species of birds in here. And I played around with the flamingos there. I didn't really like it, so I decided to remove it, and we put that somewhere else later on. This section here is going to be Monkey Town. We're going to add our monkeys here and also our reptile building. I think those 2 buildings go together real nice, as you'll see in a second, so we went with that. And I think they looked pretty cool. Yep, there we go. There's one building, and it's an enclosed building, so the other enclosed building in these assets was the reptile one. They look real nice together. Again, this was an area I was playing with the gravel. It just seems to blend in really well with these buildings. I don't know if I'm going to go with it long term again. Let me know what you think. So you can see the approach here is kind of lay down these assets where I want them and then build the path up to them. Here we get, I believe, the bisons and the giraffes. They're pretty cool exhibits. I really like the way they look, how you have this raised path to look at the giraffes, get a little bit closer to them. Turns out really cool. I love these zoo assets. And then here I went ahead and just threw down every single building that we still had to place down so I could kind of get a look at them and figure out exactly where I wanted to place them. And then we just kind of put them around where we think it makes sense and build the paths to match. Alright, so this is how it turned out. You know, we got our little bird area here. We added some trees, some rocks. I'll still do a little bit more detailing, but you know, like I said multiple times, I want to get some feedback on this gravel before we go full-blown detailing to see if we do want to build out the entire zoo area with gravel or not. I'm not sure. I'd love your feedback. Let me know. Over here, we got the rhinos, we got the lions, we got them all. We got everything laid down. Again, just a little bit of detail so far. I like the way it turned out. I liked how much room we used. We spread out this zoo. It's a good amount of real estate used for the zoo area. Very excited about it. I like the way it turned out and how it blends in with the rest of the city. Also, while we're in this little transition, let me know what you think about the new color of the city. Is it too much? Is it too bright? I did want to brighten it up. I got a new GPU, playing around with that. Got a little bit more power in my computer so I can push the limits a little bit more in City Skylines. What a resource hog when you use mods, man. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode of Socktown. Thanks for joining. Appreciate the support. And I'll catch you on the next episode.